Yo, what's up? I hope you had a great weekend, great holiday weekend as we get back to work or whatever you're getting back to our day-to-day grind. And today, my topic and what I want to talk about and reflect on is creating closure. Creating closure. Closure is so important because I know from my experience in life, I can have things happen to me either through people, experiences, circumstances, and you can hold on to that because you feel like you didn't get closure. First of all, what is closure, right? I guess closure to me is the satisfaction you get that part is over, I moved on, and I feel better about what happened or I learned from it. We got that closure. Usually in relationships, it's like, look, it didn't work out. I wasn't happy with you. We're not together anymore. We got that closure. Now I can move on. It's funny because I have 100% realized in life that you got to start moving on whether you have closure or not. In any situation in your life, whether you have closure or not, you have to start moving to see that change in your life. I think about it like this. Without closure, I have allowed my past to stop and stagnate me in a situation where I will not move to my future. I'm going to sit right there and try to get an answer to something I may never, ever get. You can create your own closure. You can create your own closure because I'm going to tell you this right quick, and I just heard that this morning is really important. You got to stop going and trying to relive things in your past that you cannot revise. Say that again. Do not relive things from your past that you cannot revive or rechange. Don't try to revive things from your past that you cannot revise it. I'm gonna get that right one more time. Do not relive things from your past that you cannot revise. You can't change it. And the thing about that is, it's like, no matter what you do, you can call this person, you can send thank you and sorry notes, you can go back to situations and try to say, well, if I did this is a change right here. If you can't revise it, then don't look for the answer no more. Let it go. Part 2, get around people who are looking more towards your future and not reminding you of your past. That's one of the biggest manipulation techniques that can be used, is to remind you of who you are. This is what you used to be like. This is what you did. This is who you are. You're that person. Remember that time? I remember a lot of times I used to hate to go to family gatherings, because so much had passed and so many things had happened. I didn't want to be reminded of my past because I needed to believe that I had a great future in front of me and not keep reliving everything in my past. So remember that when you're around people and you start to conversate, because it's real easy to do. We get together. Oh, you remember when you was doing this? You remember when you did that? Oh man, I remember. And the whole thing is all about reliving a past that you cannot revise. And then the next thing is, as you decide to move forward and you decide to make things happen, understand that as long as you're looking for closure and you can't create the closure, you are handicapped. God can't move on something that you're living in the past. Actually, it's almost disrespectful to God because God is the reason why you're still here. And if he brought you out of something, and he brought you out of a relationship, and he brought you out financial worry, and he brought you out of bad health, he brought you out of all those things, and when you cannot create the closure, it's like expressing to him no gratitude at all. Like, I don't believe you can do it. So there's a couple of things I had to start asking myself, but I'm going to tell you this real quick. In all of my relationships, it came to a point to where we had a discussion about whether we're happy or not. Even my sons, my wife, my mother, all the people I love, and we talk about happiness. And I remember my wife asked me one day, she said, well, what makes you happy? Because I would always say I'm happy when I'm helping someone else. But she said, what makes you happy? And I didn't have an answer. I could talk about what I've been through. I could talk about a whole lot of dreams I'm trying to get to, but I couldn't talk about my present. And I feel like I had to get into, I had to get into a state of emotional balance where I'm not making decisions just based on emotion and get that out the way. And I had to live in a season of gratitude, because when you live in gratitude, you start to give closure to things because you're present and happy with what God has done in your life right now. And all those things you had, you don't have to have them back for you to get what you need out of life and have a happy life. Now, always remember that. Gratitude, praise, and also just making constant decisions to making plans to move forward. So I hope you got something out of that this morning. And I want to tell you, man, do not relive things you cannot revise. You can't change it. All you can change is your future, and you can move forward. So don't be a prisoner to what happened, what you did, what decisions you made in your life that hurt you. Don't be a prisoner of that. Be free to move on to your life, the things that are going to make your life better. Hey, have a great day. I love you. Do your thing. Remember, do not relive what you can't revise. Be blessed.